December 1957. The world of combat sports is alive with blood, drama, and controversy, and this issue of Boxing and Wrestling magazine captures it all. Edited by Stanley Weston, this historic volume combines expert reporting, on-the-scene photography, in-depth fighter profiles, and entertaining commentary across both boxing and pro wrestling. Let's get into the action. Editorial highlight. The issue begins with an editorial spotlight on Chuck Speezer, a light heavyweight who announced he would go without a manager, an unprecedented move that shook traditional boxing arrangements. Fighters quietly support his independence, even if they're too afraid to go public. Boxing features. Fights of the month. Floyd Patterson retained the heavyweight title in a brutal 10-round dismantling of Tommy Hurricane Jackson at the Polo Grounds in New York. The bout was widely criticized as inhumane. Jackson was pummeled from start to finish. Referee Ruby Goldstein eventually stopped the massacre. Other highlights include victories by Orlando Zulueta, Eddie Macken, Spider Webb, Alex Maitef, and a chilling bloodbath between Rocky Graziano and Tony Zala. The molding of a future champion. A detailed biography of heavyweight Pat McMurtry outlines his rise through the ranks and how he's being groomed as a title contender. He's 24 wins into his career, 20 by knockout. The truth about Billy Seuss. Writer Bill Geegan reflects on his friendship with the former middleweight champion, recounting Billy's quiet recovery in the Maine wilderness as he tried to rebuild a shattered hand. Henry Armstrong ends Barney Ross's career, a 15-round battle in 1938 where Armstrong dominated Ross, whose face was a bloodied mess by the end. Ross honored his vow to retire after one bad beating. The life of Marcel Cerdan in pictures. A beautifully arranged photo spread tracing the career of French boxing legend Marcel Cerdan, from victories to his tragic death in a plane crash in 1949. The Extraordinary Mr. Langford, a tribute to Sam Langford, the fighter who never got his title shot. At only 5 feet 7 inches tall, he beat men much larger than him and fought while going blind in the final years of his career. How good is Roy Harris? A breakout prospect from Cut-and-Shoot, Texas. Harris is undefeated with 20 wins, and his victories over Bob Baker and Willie Pastrana suggest he may be a real threat. Bloodbath in Chicago, a gritty and poetic recap of the second bout between Rocky Graziano and Tony Zala. In a sweltering arena, the two slugged it out in what is described as the most grueling legalized bloodbath in modern ring history. Graziano won the middleweight title. Shattering of a dream. Orlando Zulueta's title shot ends in heartbreak. After years of fighting worldwide, he is stopped by Joe Brown in the dying seconds of a fight he nearly survived. 4 tough guys with a common goal. Highlights on contenders Yvonne Durrell, Johnny Busso, Harold Gomes, and Harold Johnson. All are closing in on title shots in their divisions. Wrestling features Why Slave Girl is Champion. A profile of the fabulous Moolah dubbed Slave Girl, who was crowned world champion by the Maryland State Athletic Commission. The article details the fall of monopolistic booking and how Moolah became the recognized top star in women's wrestling. Half-century of belly laughs. Al Mayer recounts humorous tales from 5 decades in wrestling. From drunks to graveyard ghosts, it's a comedic highlight of the issue. Inside Steve Stanley. A profile of Steve Stanley's transformation from clumsy rookie to one of wrestling's most sculpted and effective babyfaces. Fan club convention in Chicago. With over 200 fan clubs nationwide, a major wrestling fan convention was held in Chicago. Big-name promoters attended and pledged future cooperation. Canadian Trail reports on Bob Nandor and Gene Kiniski, both making waves in Canadian wrestling circles. Miguel Black Guzman, a master technician of the flying head scissors and sleeper hold. Guzman is a dangerous light heavyweight who uses leverage over size. Carpentier is the new champ. Edouard Carpentier defeats Lou Thesz to become the new heavyweight wrestling champion. At only 5 feet 9 inches and 220 pounds, Carpentier's agility and flips stunned the world. Rankings Boxing Ratings of the Month Heavyweight Champion Floyd Patterson. Light Heavyweight Archie Moore. Middleweight Ray Robinson. Welterweight Carmen Basilio. Lightweight Joe Brown. Featherweight Hogan Bassi. Bantamweight Alphonse Halimi. Flyweight Pascual Perez. Each division is ranked with 10 top contenders, including Roy Harris, Eddie Macken, Harold Johnson, and Orlando Zulueta. Advertisements Geritex tablets promoted for men over 35 losing energy and pep. 1 month supply costs $3.50. Marketed as a doctor-approved supplement for vigor. Mr. America Home Gym Equipment. Steel cable home gym set and dumbbell training systems offered for $23.98. Promises He-Man muscles fast. Wider dumbbell sets. Joe Wider promotes the best home gym dumbbell set your money can buy, complete with kettlebells, wrist rollers, and workout charts. Magazine subscription offer. A 1-year subscription to boxing and wrestling costs $3. Promises delivery 10 days before issues hit newsstands. This issue captures everything raw and real about the combat world in 1957. It's about the rise of Roy Harris, the tragedy of Barney Ross, the violence of Graziano Zale, and the flair of Edouard Carpentier. Whether you're here for the blood, the belts, or the bizarre, this one has it all. If you love vintage boxing and wrestling history, detailed retrospectives, and full-issue breakdowns, like, share, and subscribe. From the Pages is your daily passport to the golden age of combat sports.